of Project 2025. That StreamYard will now, StreamYard's audio will not work unless we go in there and check it. That's their little. I don't know.
We got a Biden voter. Dude. We got a Biden.
We do.
Yeah,
we do. Did you see that clip of Biden walking off into the forest? I love that clip.
I don't even know. I just know the context. I'm just like, all right, that happened. It's
It's just what it is. Just let him go, man. Just let him go.
Let him horse, dude. Yeah. Literally walking off into the sunset, dude. Mm-hmm. Would it be funny? I actually just did see that, and I was like, what if a tiger just straight, or like a leopard, just straight come on and faced him.
They faced him, but they stare for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens.
Yeah.
That would be sick. Speaking of animals, I had a coworker. We were driving by. I don't know if you're familiar with the town of Pescadero.
Oh yeah,
Half Moon Bay kind of area, right there. I mean, I'm telling you. First off, there's like no guardrails. You could just like cruise in USA, like fucking arcade game, like into the water if you want
to. Neil Young it. Yeah.
You start thinking like it would be sick if I drove off right now. Like I don't think women have that, but I'd be like, it would be so tight. And you obviously you would die, but you'd be like, it would be sick though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, women don't have that. Yeah.
No, they don't. Yeah.
But
so we were driving, and I'm sure you're aware of how the ocean works when the waves crash. It's kind of white. It's kind of white and foamy.
That is,
Have you seen this, guys? Yeah. Have you seen this? Yeah. But the waves crash and it gets foam. And my coworker is this dude who he's got a neck tattoo. I'll just say that much. And
you're on the job,
huh?
You're on the job in Pescadero. Yeah.
We're on the job. But he has a neck tattoo. He says things that guys with neck tattoos would say sometimes. Very nice guy. But he was looking at the waves, and we were just both looking at him for a while, and he just goes like, "That's sperm." I was like, "I'm sorry." He said, "Yeah." He goes, "You don't know that?" He's like, "Well, no, that ocean. That's all that sperm from the whales." So that's what happens. I was like, No, it's not. Like, and I felt like the libtard, like the actually, it's like no, but I have to. You can't if he brought that
information, dude.
I know. I snopes him. I was like, sorry, it's not true. And I was like, damn. And he goes, yeah, no, I seen that shit somewhere. I was like, please, just for my research purposes, tell me where you saw it, because I would like to know the rest of this person's thoughts.
What if we're wrong, dude? What if he's right?
Well, because I did get to that. I was like, is this like some red pill that I missed? Like, this is just like whales no fap nutting, like just like 21-day no fapping, keeping the beach alive, and then just blowing, because that I don't understand that. Like that I could see like a politician or like some AOC thing. The whales are not nutting anymore. Like, we're gonna die.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane by to visit Glen Rock, need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. Who you with?
And it's a crazy name for a whale.
Yeah,
sperm whale.
Yeah,
come on. I mean, remember when you learn about whales before you knew what sperm was? You're like, what? Your parents would kind of snicker, or they'd be embarrassed when it was brought up.
Yeah, you'd be at the aquarium. Just they'd be like, "That's a sperm whale," and your parents are just like,
"Yeah,
my child
neck tattoo, dude."
Yeah, that's what keeps
you open. I thought you were gonna say this right here.
What?
Horsing, dude. The calendar. I got it, dude.
It's
up. No, it's up.
It's very minuscule. So you did get the horse calendar. For those who don't know, what is the slogan on the front of it?
It's getting ahead by horsing around. It's a horse calendar.
Getting ahead by horsing around, which is the motto of the show. I mean,
yeah, dude, I was the KFC Beyond Chicken in the store, dude. I was just like, you fucking see this shit? My wife's
pointing at it.
Dude.
I know. No, they don't get it. They don't get it.
No.
I don't know.
We went to the craft. We were at the craft store, to look at Chris. I threw her a bone. She's been doing a lot. She's been doing a lot of like remote viewing shit. So, and she's like, let's go to the craft store. I'm like, I'm not gonna say no to that. You know,
Yeah, you got to throw them a craft store.
She puts up with every one of my autistic tendencies, you know, to be like, no, you don't understand. The 49ers, it's a Monday night game. We're at 47% on the Monday nights, so we're gonna have to. No, but so I walk in and it's like in between the double doors, they have their little special section, and it's all these calendars. And I'm like, no fucking way. And there's people going in and out, like passing us, like, why the fuck are you stopped here looking at these calendars? And I'm like, that's the Horson calendar. I need to get this. And I look at the price, and it's like $16.99. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm not gonna. It's like a, you know, it's a lot of money for a bit, right? And although I didn't need,
but it's one that lasts for a year, though. It does last for a year.
But then what happened? And then my wife's like, just throw it in the cart. Let's get a cart, throw it in there. You can change your mind. You could leave it in the store, change your mind later. And I was like, okay. Then we walk in, and then there's this old lady, sweet old lady, like with a craft like table, and she's got apple cider and shit. And she hands out this full page coupon thing. She's like, this is today only. You can get 50% off any single item in the store. And then I look at her and I'm like, include even this calendar? And she gives me the most, she looks at me like I'm retarded. She's like, you're not going to waste that on a fuck calendar, are you? And I was so hurt, dude. I was just like, fuck, I am, dude. And then
the horse, I don't understand that. Yeah,
I know. They don't like the horse. And, but then, so I was like, okay, $8. I'm swinging $8 for this thing for sure, dude, for Shiggy. And then my wife, she really likes those squishy toy things, you know, those like crazy, they're just out of control now, those big ones, you know,
Jesus Christ, you guys are the most autistic couple I've ever met in my life.
Yes, dude.
It didn't come off as such.
Well, wait, yeah, I know. Yeah, we hide it well. We pass, so we're passing autism. Well, it's about to get even more autistic because they're like, all right, let's go buy this shit. And I'm like, wait, go back, make sure that first lady's gone, ask for another coupon, and we'll check out separate. We get 50. We get 50 because it's a single item, and we did. We fucking did it.
Yeah, so it's an $8-ish calendar essentially.
Yeah,
$9 around there. Yeah,
we did.
So now is this for this calendar? This is for the year 2025.
Yeah, so it's on it has 6 months preamble. You know, one of those like 18 months. So that's why it's so small. But it has a horse and like keep moving. The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, to move with it, and join the dance. Alan Watts. So it's got a little inspiring
Alan Watts
horse quote. Yeah, on the beginning. So we'll have a year of horsing for the pod. And,
well, at least 12 months. You'll have to every month. You'll have to say when you turn the page. You'll have to remember to recite.
What the
thing is. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, but it was definitely speaking of autism, the second girl that we got the second coupon from when we basically scammed them out of, you know, because, you know, I was like, go up and ask for a second. She's like, hey, are you still handing out those coupons? And the second woman was the most autistic woman of all time. She's like, I don't know. It was just, and we wrestled it out of her. But
I know the code, lady. I'll take it from here.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, I'm one of you. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. I was just saying, like, I've been saying this for a while. I think I might be the least autistic man ever. I don't have any of the tics. Like, I get really into sports. I have a good memory, but memory's different, I feel like.
Yeah, and you're not. I've known your baseball stat thing forever. It's not the autistic kind. It's not the Jonah Hill Moneyball kind. You know, it's
Which is so funny that guy made the trade for Deshaun Watson, by the way.
Yeah, what I kept hearing that.
He literally sucks, by the way.
Did he just get into? Yeah, did he just get into football too? Did they try and Moneyball football?
So the Browns hired him. Paul DePodesta, right? They hired him and to be a part of the guy named Sashi Brown, who was
is that like Pizzagate has name? Dude.
I know, that's who I thought it was when I first heard about Pizzagate. I was like, damn, the guy from the A's? I can't enjoy anything. And it was I mean, Jonah, I could see the Pizzagate guy looking like Jonah Hill. I'm just saying. I mean, wouldn't you know, or at least the perpetrators, the person he was going to expose. I could see that. But the he was part of I could be wrong. Brown. We do have some Browns fans that listen, so if I'm wrong, don't correct me. I don't care that much.
So funny was the Browns that nabbed him. They're like, "Yep, that's the guy."
Sashi Brown. Yeah, this guy's name was Sashi Brown, and he had like a department of analytics, and he was like, "We're going to bring Moneyball to the NFL," and he trades for Deshaun Watson. amid allegations of rub and tug scandals, like 23, 24 assaults charges. And like, let's be real, some of those had some weight to them. Like, it was like
wasn't a fake Me Too.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
a fake Me
definitely
Too. Like, he was just like,
yeah.
he was like, I horse. What do you want me to do? You know?
Yeah.
And then, and there was that, but nonetheless, whether that's real or not, you definitely don't trade for like that guy, give up all of your assets, and then pay him.
That's a 6-rounder. You know, you're like, I'll let it ride on a 6-rounder.
Pay him fully guaranteed $250 million. Like, they did that.
And because he got it from the Texans. That's right.
Yes. So they did all of that stuff like that. So it's like Moneyball's ruined, by the way, by that. So, that, nonetheless, speaking of sports, we're going to get you right back to the episode. But I just wanted to let you guys know of a few other things we offer at Rare Candy Industries. We have a Substack with free and paid subscription options. Free subscribers get access to all written content. That includes Bob's Red Pill. That's the best thing going on the internet right now. Trust me. Paid subscribers get full access to our premium episode feed. And that's just every episode we don't necessarily want to share with the general public, if you know what I'm saying. Again, that's rarecandy.substack.com. We also have merch. That link's a little long for me to say right now, but go to the description, go to our merch store, and find a shirt that's right for you. We have Rare Candy shirts, Dr. Bronner soap label shirts, Rishi mushroom shirts, all types of stuff there. Check it out. There's got to be something for you. And lastly, check us out on social media. On Instagram, we're Rare Candy Pod, but on Twitter, we're at Rare Candy Pod 1. All right, enough of that. Let's get you back into the episode. Sorry guys, got to talk about it, but the Trump dance is hitting in the NFL right now, and it is unifying the entire game but dividing all the journalists. Oh no.
Dude, it's so funny, dude. It's so funny. And first of all, shout outs, like, I feel like Max Crosby is like Peter Thiel, like hella early on. He was like bold enough to be like first, you know, and just be,
him and Nick Bosa, the white defensive ends, were just getting all that going. But so Brock Bowers, I'm going to say it because it's our guy. It's been a rough year for the Las Vegas Raiders, but Brock Bowers, the shining beacon of light. Shining beacon of light, the Georgia Bulldog from Napa Valley, California. He scores a touchdown, does the little Trump dance, whatever, does that. The one that you see, the YMCA, he does that exact
John
one.
Jones,
and John Jones had done it the night before at the UFC. And then all around the league, black players doing it in the NFL, all of this stuff. Like, nature should be healing at that point. Unless you are like a Keith Olbermann tier sports libtard, which those guys, I'm sorry, it's going to be a rough time for you guys because nobody wants to go through Kaepernick Gate again, especially through when that happened.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the funny thing about Bosa is that it's like full circle Niners shit. We got the MAGA hat on the, and it's like, you know, the obviously the Kaepernick thing was horse shit, and it's like I was never, you know, I was never fully like like rabble rouse like South Park about it. I was just like, this is so gay. You know, I know this is gonna lead to some shit. And it did. But it's like now we got Bosa, and everyone's like, no, they're making it political. No, it's like, dude, they're horsing around in the end zone. Dude. They're
having fun. And what happened was so for people who don't know, like these guys, whenever they score a touchdown, they just do the Trump dance. They're not, I mean, some might be making a political statement. I think some people, they're just doing it in a sense, like, that's a funny dance. Like, I'm going to do that. And like I said, black players are doing it. Like, it's not this like Black Lives Matter thing. And then, so what the cool sports guy does, the cool guy, the sports lib, dirtbag left sports people, they do this thing. They go, I thought they wanted politics out of sports. During Kaepernick, they do that. They think that's just not. First off, that's not politics in sports. And so you know, people take the bait on that, and they go, no, Kaepernick knelt for the anthem during the game, which objectively is more of an infraction, right? Like, if whatever you believe in or not, a touchdown celebration where a guy does a dance that he saw someone do on TV or whatever, a speech or whatever, whether that's the candidate you like or not, or the person who Kaepernick effectively said, I am trying to do politics in sport. Like, I literally am doing
and the
politics.
Energy is so it's and even if you agree with it or not, the energy, it's all scoldy and like not fun and happy, you know, and shit. And it's
terrible,
dude.
For years we had to suffer. I mean, like, that's why when I see like conservatives that are like, sports is just lib slop, like, why are you into that and stuff, all the base guys, I'm like, all right, fine, you're a gamer that wasn't athletic, I get it, but let me have something. And I when I say that, I was like, this is something that has literally not belonged to the libs like basically hijacked it in 2016 is what they did. So this is not some like rooted institution like from the 1800s that has always been libtard sports slop. Like no, it hasn't been. If anything, it's leaned the other way for a lot of times. And and it is like swinging back that way for sure. But I'm people say like, oh, I want to get this. I thought you guys didn't like politics in sports, but now they're all over the place. Everything UFC was sucking off Trump and all this stuff. I'm like, you guys just don't get it, man. You guys just don't get it. It's funny when you guys lose, particularly you guys, the fucking sniveling fag sports lib. That guy is hilarious to watch lose and flounder and steam come out of the ears and then pretend like they don't care that much. So like, look, I don't even care. I'm just pointing out that you were a hypocrite saying that you want. It's like, no, you care deeply. It offended you watching a player score a touchdown and then him doing the little thing like that offended you. That did. Like you have to admit that. Night you think about how bad and what the implications that mean for this country, and you can't be above it all and then point that out at the same time. Sorry.
And we've been living in this delusion I hate, we've talked about this before, hate it since COVID of like, all the players got their shots, and I'm like, no, they fucking did. No, obviously that's political too. Let's not pretend it's not. Where it's like, and then you see all this thing like all the rappers support Trump, but none of the athletes do. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's so fake. And I hate to, he's my new like Neil deGrasse Tyson is Shannon Sharp, dude. It's like he just tries to get everyone like do you see the Miss Pat thing? The comedian Miss Pat, where
I saw one clip about his orgasm.
She was on his show, and she was on Shannon Sharp's long form thing, and was. He did that kind of sneaky about like trying to get her to like throw dirt on Rogan, and she's like, "No, he's cool as fuck. He made me famous, and like it's why I have a career now." And she defended him, Rogan, for like, it's like Shannon Sharp. Do you have to go against like every cool mainstream guy now? Is that your whole thing? Like every non-lib cool guy? Is that your thing, dude? He's so rough, dude.
It is,
and it's the thing is he's the minority, like in terms of, like most people either they don't care or they're vaguely kind of pro in that direction, you know what I mean, where they're like it's that dance is cool and it's funny and I'm glad this fake shit is over, and
they're terrible. They've been somebody that we let fester around too long. Like that sports is supposed to cleanse. Sports has so much objectivism to it. Like that's my favorite thing is like it's the last entertainment form that has a final score to it than a winner and a loser. So whatever side you're arguing for, even if it's the losing side, there's still the caveat, the asterisk saying like, but you lost. But the refs and you lost. You know what I mean? Like, and there's no, there's not millions of advertising campaigns that are manufacturing a winner either. It's like, no, that team laced up against the other team and they won and lost. So I always think that's a really important institution,
especially in football, where it's like Sunday it's happening. By that, we will have a winner by the end of this game. By the way, just as a quick football aside, don't go too deep into actual football shit, but the Brock Bowers stats don't make sense because I watch every one of those games. We watch those games, and it's like, how is he leading tight ends when the Raiders' offense is such dog shit? But it adds up, dude. But it's crazy, dude. He is
the I don't want to speak in hyperbole, but I believe he's the chosen one that will lead. All great things in all of our nation. It's going to be Brock Bowers. So
he's the offensive Max Crosby for sure. He's the puzzle piece on the other side.
Absolutely. 21 years old, terrible hairline, insane separation ability, and great hands catcher. Yes. Nobody does it anymore except him.
High point.
Amazing. And now I will say I've seen people freaking out about Trump, but people are really freaking about our boy RFK. They are freaking out. They are freaking out. I got some clips. Dude. So RFK is scheduled to become, of course, he has to be confirmed by the Senate or whatever that means. The HHS, the head of the HHS, and basically that is maybe one of the biggest swings that can happen. I'm tired of people pretending like it's not that big of a deal. It is a huge deal. And his opponents believe that it's the end of the world. We're getting all diseases back. Elizabeth Warren makes up hyperbole saying that he wants all of your kids to get measles and die. Which again,
the first part. Like I'm down with the first. Yes, all kids should get measles and they'll have lifetime immunity.
Yeah. And what do people think measles is? Like I was come to realize that like I have RFK's measles book. It's actually pretty good. But I was just like, I remember like you grow up, you think like measles is like you die, and I'm like, no, you don't die.
Yeah,
like it's not a thing.
Remember like literally the Brady Bunch and shit. They'd make fun of it. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm faking measles to stay home from school," and your parents would give it to you on purpose and shit. And there is some interesting shit that it offers cancer protection for your whole life if you get measles. And again, it's one of those things that's where like it's kind of like the flu, where even untreated, it's not that big of a deal. But if you treat it with even the tiniest amount of effort, like vitamin A and shit like that, it just goes away. It is just
but and of course Elizabeth Warren's freaking out because obviously her Native American heritage, she's worried about smallpox blankets being thrown on her, obviously. So that's it. That's
it. It's crazy. She's a sneaky like top 10 pharma donation.
Yeah, 897K, dude,
bro.
Yeah, pharma. I'd rather do insider trading. We were talking about that on the other one. I'd be like, insider trading is way better.
I think the move, so that's like your base account. That's like you throw that 800K into the trading account, and then you pump it, and then that's how you get the like 80 million.
Damn.
You let that shit compound. You sell out in your first couple of years to pharma, and then you just rotate it in the market for the next like 50 years. And then
and it's funny because Elizabeth Warren's funny because nobody has paid attention to her like since the epic Wells Fargo takedown, where she was like, I think the horse and carriage is racist on your logo. I don't think that's what she said, but she just is like
Horsen apostrophe carriage
is anti-Horsen. You guys say that much.
Horsen,
exactly. So she but I remember like in 2020 when she ran, everybody just was like, that video is so cool, and she's a woman and she looks like she could be like a magic school bus ass lady, like, so she could easily, libtards love that. They love when you can like hop into their cartoon nostalgia and like fit right in.
She was Tim Walz, like for the libs that Bernie was too crazy, like Elizabeth Warren was like, she's reasonable,
you'll see a absolute like on the back of a Subaru out here, you'll see like a really chipped out like someone tried to remove it and was like, fuck it, we're in 2020, and you'll see it looks like it survived like a bomb went off behind the Subaru and hit the Warren sticker. It's funny.
And there was those crazy, remember like the Warren stands that got like the Holocaust tattoos on their arms and shit. There's some like crazy
that's
remember that, dude? There's some wild
time. What a time. That was nuts. Yeah,
it was like the digit, it's like it was the hex code of the font or the color she liked or whatever, but it just looked like a Nazi tattoo or something. It's like you're Jewish.
That's right.
In the camps or something. It's so fucking funny.
I mean, she would do it. I mean, she would be the one.
Yeah.
All right, Magic School Bus took him. She'd be that person. You didn't get the shots.
Yeah. Solid, liquid, gas.
Shower time.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna fly into the lungs, and it's just like getting roasted. It's like microscopic lungs, just getting roasted.
It's Elizabeth Warren in the Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
Yes.
I miss. By the way, Magic School Bus lady for sure. I bet she'd be voting Trump 2024. She was a real
Miss
lady, dude. Yeah,
Miss Frazzle.
She was following RFK, and she flipped. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it. It was a different time, and but people are freaking out about him, and she was one of them. Everybody's like all normies are like, wait, he's gonna like blow up the vaccine factories. Everyone like that's what people think. They think he's the Joker. That's what they think he is. I think he's just gonna show up in Joker makeup and blow everything up. And I'm like, no, it's gonna happen in like super legalese terms, and like that's the best part about RFK is he can play their game.
Yeah.
Like the legal game, the West Wing Sorkin legal game, and like kick their ass at it too. But here's a clip, of our last NIH director. So now RFK has been floating the idea. It's not confirmed that Jay Bhattacharya could be the next Bhattacharya. Is that how you say his name?
So sick.
Yeah, it could be the next NIH director, which would be a huge.
That's another
swing.
Full circle thing because Collins like shit on him in the emails. So it's like if he took his job, that'd be insane, dude. That'd be crazy.
Insane. So then you get this was our last NIH director, and he was musically talented.
Somewhere past past the pandemic, when we're free, there's a life I remember full of activity.
Damn.
Somewhere past the pandemic, masks will come off. No more need for a nose swab every time we cough.
I didn't know Raffi was the director of the NIH, dude. Fuck.
First of all, dude, definitely A+ for he's doing some, interesting chord substitutions there. He's not settling on the basics, So he's doing some leading.
Well, that's how they reel you in.
Stuff.
That's how they reel. Next thing you know, you're at CVS blacked out after your first shot. Yeah.
First of all, that's the guy that started the pandemic. That's the funniest thing, dude. It's like he literally is him, dude.
Do you think when the lab leak happened, he was like there with his guitar, and then this is my. And then the Chinese lab technician was like, "Oh no!" Yeah. And then just the petri dish spilled everywhere, and he was just singing in the.
Or what if he what if he started on purpose to get his guitar big break? He's like, "This is my shot," dude.
And he's just like, you know what? Like, I can never crack at Austin city limits.
Yeah,
never worked at never got my tiny desk. He's like, what if nobody could do music live?
Yeah. And then, exactly,
how would we make that happen? And then
it's like some Cartman shit, dude. That's like that's like some stuff.
Yeah, and then he's at like he says it out loud at the event 201 meeting, and Bill Gates is like, well, we could arrange that if you'd like.
Have you seen his Puff the Magic Dragon with his wife?
Dude, no, but
can you add? You can't add stuff. Dude,
no.
We gotta. Okay, we'll do that. We'll say that one for next time. It's worse. It's worse. Right.
I think
she does a performative dance in front of the camera,
which is crazy because you should be so liberated and free when you do that. Like, but then you're just like really into medicine and science.
Dude, that's the guy that that guy, Francis Collins is he's a bad dude. He's not a good person, man. It's crazy.
But a lot of his guitar companions say he's a bad dude. You see the way he does his chord progressions, man.
Some Crossroads sold his soul for the pandemic devil, dude.
It'd be Neil
also,
Young.
Where is that, dude? What forum is that? Like, what venue? Is that like C-SPAN or
that looked like a PBS kind of thing? That looked like something, like I said, when you're a kid chained to a radiator in a neglectful family house, like that's on the TV. I feel like.
But it's also it looks like those World Economic Forum, those weird conferences they do and shit.
He was at like the Davos C stage, like like they were like at Davos, like there's like there's like chapel.
It's like a wing, there's like a wing off to the
weekend. There's like the Weekend or something is at the main stage, and then Francis Collins, and like 3 people would like told him they would show up to that one. They're like, you could be seeing the Weekend right now.
Could be like it's got the 2:30 slot, dude.
Neil Young is a better guitar player, and he's playing at the other one. So it's that's where we could go from that to Jay Bhattacharya in a span of a few years, which to be honest, when you zoom out, you click that minus on the magnifying glass, like you wouldn't expect that kind of change to occur. It would look like the smallest dot. And then look, I don't know what's going to happen, but that is a pretty sick ass substitution.
Jay Bhattacharya is he's so raw because there's no one that listens. He's a total, and I mean this in the most positive way. He's like a total normie, and he's legit. Like he's not. I don't think he's like liberal at all. I mean, he's like a free speech guy, So but he's not afraid of hyping up conservative stuff, and also he's in Stanford, but not a fag, which is like the hardest thing to pull off.
So Andrew Luck was the last guy to do it.
Yes, and
Chris McCaffrey. Yeah, those were the last 2 guys to do it.
Yeah. But and seriously, and he's very measured. Like he probably doesn't take the pandemic stuff as far as we do, but that's a good thing. I think.
Yeah,
kind of
I'm okay. This is a normie institution that's being taken over. There's a degree of normie that's going to happen. Like that's what I think a lot of like our side struggles with sometimes. Is like like no, it needs to be the fucking ethical skeptic or something. You're like, it's not going to be though.
No,
like,
dude, and I fuck with RFK. Clearly, I fuck with RFK, but I do think there's a strategic tone it down kind of thing, where obviously it's like people are like, I don't know, he's crazy about that, and he's right about that. But people need to be spoon fed this shit.
Yeah,
people are literally like people that are just learning, that are still questioning RFK about Fruit Loops and fluoride. They're like a baby. You need to airplane the soft food into their mouth. It's seriously that level of.
Oh, it's insane.
It's sad. But so yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a lot of rebellion. There's some guys that are above it all that are making videos about. Well, actually, you know what? I'll play this one first. There's a clip from CNN where there's reactions to RFK's being appointed, because he's also going to talk about seed oils and food and stuff. We'll get to that in a minute, but this is about like medicine and stuff. And this is from CNN. I like to see what they're saying sometimes.
That's really the question here is when he is talking about that is often what we.
First off, is that the chick from Frozen? I thought that was her. I was like, is she on CNN now? The Menzel girl? I could have sworn that was who.
Here cited from people who say, I'm excited for this pick because he wants to, who likes processed foods or who doesn't think that those school lunches should be healthier. But then you also hear him saying things like linking vaccines to autism in children, which was debunked. And this isn't something that happened before and he's changed his mind on it, because the transition co-chair, Howard Lutnick, who's running this, met with RFK Jr. in the lead up to the election. I had him sitting here, and after a 2-hour meeting with RFK Jr., listen to what he said to me.
So I spent 2.5 hours this week with Bobby Kennedy Jr. And it was the most extraordinary thing, because let's face it, we've all heard on the news all sorts of sort of snarky comments about him. And I said, so tell me, how's it going to go? And he said, why don't you just listen to me explain things? And what he explained was, when he was born, we had 3 vaccines, and autism was 1 in 10,000. Now a baby's born with 76 vaccines.
I mean, he was able
Got to
to
cut him off.
the
Yeah.
CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, who later said he believes in the science of vaccines. He was pushing things that are not true about vaccines, and being the HHS secretary, people trust you. You have a platform.
Yeah, the idea that receiving vaccines would be parental choice scares me. One of the things that we have in America is a contract between each other. And an important part of that in public health is vaccination. I vaccinate my children to protect them, but also to protect other people's children. Sending a child to school, you need to have that confidence that the child sitting next to them isn't going to give them measles or whooping cough because their parent decided that they didn't want to get their child vaccinated because they're hearing all of this misinformation. We count on it. What if that child had an immune problem and they're in there and their parent and their children who decided not to be vaccinated? We vaccinate our kids because we care about our children, our families, and our community.
And what the fuck did you do to debunk what he just said? What RFK has said? It's all just platitudes. I remember somebody telling me I needed to take the COVID shot. They sent me a video. They're like, just watch this video before you make up your mind. And it was Rachel Maddow sobbing. Yeah. That's all it was. There was nothing to it. They don't even show you the fake science. No, it's just that it's insane. And what it's doing right now, what I love about what RFK is doing, and I don't know. Look, Trump's got a history of firing people, so I have no idea how this is going to go. But for now, even for now, just what he's doing is the reaction against him is starting to go mainstream, and people are starting to realize how retarded his opposition has always sounded. How exactly. That was this thing where people would go, yeah, what are you going to be anti-vax? I mean, that sounds insane. They would never see it. It would just be this argument you never hear about or anything. It would be something you didn't even think about. Now you're hearing these people come out and they're scrambling.
Cockroaches in the light. Yeah.
And that is, if anybody else was appointed, you wouldn't hear a damn thing.
That's why I don't buy the whole controlled op thing at all, because these people do not want this shit held up to the light.
Well, people don't know what that is. Controlled op in terms of
like RFK is a false prophet, and he's actually, unwittingly or unwittingly is actually helping the bad side. And I'm like, no, because okay, let's say that is true. I don't even think, even if that is true, which I don't think it's true, I think that's a shitty strategy, because their whole strategy is
never talk
about it. Don't hold it up to the light, because the second you do, you're like, oh shit. And then once you're flipped on and red pilled, you never go back. You never go like, well, maybe MMR is kind of, nope, it's over. And so they do not want, and he's lucid, and anyone that hears him, like, it's like the John Stossel thing where he's like, you're anti-vax? He's like, yeah. Or he's like, you wouldn't have vaccinated your kids? He's like, no. And he's like, oh, what? And then he spends 5 minutes explaining him, and he's like, oh shit, that's actually bars, you know? So yeah, like I said, I've been waiting for this my whole life.
It's
and
crazy.
Steve Kirsch just dropped the William Thompson, the CDC study about autism in Atlanta, where they threw away data, faked it, threw it away. Apparently he got a data like 300 pages. It's new on his Substack. I highly recommend it. Where that's, I mean, we knew it was true, but now we like really know it's true. It is beyond a shadow of a doubt that so the CDC knows that vaccines cause autism in at least certain cases, and they throw away the data and lie about it and tell you to take more. So that's what the CDC is. And RFK knows it. Kirsch knows it. Bhattacharya, someone's in his ear telling him this for sure. He's willing to listen to that. So yeah, it's over. I really think I mean, obviously it's early and it'll take 10, 15 years, but I think this is over.
Yeah.
I went from being like, this will never change in my lifetime to be like, it's cookies crumbling right now, you know?
Yeah. The panic too, because people, people are scrambling before the inauguration to try to like solidify and codify state mandates and stuff. And that's scary, right? A little bit, but it's also like, that wouldn't be happening if that dude didn't mean business, you know? And I think it's going to be a fight. And I think this is a dude with a legal background, a political legal background, you know, political family, legal background. He's not good. I mean, people, you know, even some opponents that are coming at him from like our side are saying like, yeah, but he's into like climate change. I'm like, yeah, but he's not going to be in charge of climate. Like that's,
I'm sorry. He might've said some shit that was taken out of context in 2003. I guarantee you he's not a climate change lib anymore.
The big one he said in 2020, I saw one, it was like a tweet from his account in 2020 and people are bringing it back and it is rough. I mean, it's rough. I'm not going to say, he said the COVID lockdowns have at least healed nature or whatever. Like the climate is better, which is retarded. I'm sorry. Like that's retarded. Yeah. And that's fine. Like
dude, we'll talk about climate change. Look at Elon Musk. No one calls him out and he's like the biggest one. He's like, we need electric cars because of climate change.
Yeah, exactly. So
he made, I'm not even a hater. He made government money, billions of dollars, hyping up climate change in cars.
Yeah, and I also if you were canvassing for Bernie Sanders in 2020, you're not going to freak out on like what those guys were doing in 2020 now that you're based. No. So it's like we're all a lot of us had to come from a certain place, and maybe RFK still genuinely believes in that, and that's whatever. But like, I never asked for perfection. I asked for like literally a path to fucking get to where we want to go. And that's
I think and RFK is an environmentalist, and there's environmental issues on our planet, insect death, right? Insect apocalypse, Amazon rainforest. These are real things. It's not like the climate thing is retarded on both ways, where, you know, people argue whether that's fake or real, and it is fake, right? The way it is hyped up to be. And then the other side goes, it's fake, done, we're done. And it's like, well, okay, well, let's fix some shit though. I've never walked that position back on myself to where it's like, sorry, the rainforests, I don't think we should turn that into soybean farms. You know, I think that's gay. You know, I'm sorry. Like, I think that I don't care if it's a free market thing or not. Like, I just think that's not a cool thing. I think RFK agrees. I'll be that way for the rest of my life. But also there's also these little things where, like, the Colorado governor, the Democratic guy, like super Dem lib, and he's like stoked on this. RFK helped us defeat school mandates in Colorado. Yeah, so it's like, dude, the dam is breaking. It's people are obviously freaking out about that because it's like, oh my god, we thought, hey, oh, he's racist MAGA now. He's like, no, he's a Colorado Democratic governor.
I love his him in like the E40 voice where it's like because wasn't he the one with the Venezuelan gangs that were like totally fine and stuff, where it's like vax mandates? Nope.
Yeah.
Venezuelan gangs? Yep. Why can't you just like handle that as well? Yeah. It's just right. It is funny though. I mean, no, again, we're not. I don't ask for perfection out of these people. Like, I don't. I know at the end of the day, it still comes down to you to like
Dude, they got him eating McDonald's on the plane.
Dude, why did people and the people that freaked out about that were so funny. That
dude.
From one side, the health people who were like, oh, okay, RFK's got a chance. Like, also if they thought, they're like, he's been compromised.
Yeah,
he's been compromised. That he's eating.
Dude, it's some bros horsing around. That's what it is.
That's what they are. I mean, like, and to be honest, it's like, dude, I've eaten bullshit like in the last 24 hours. Like, what am I gonna say? Like, like it happens. Like, it's just you
well,
like
it's kind of like this thing. Yeah, and it's this thing of like, just because if you eat triple bacon cheeseburger, Jack in the Box, and you say, hey, like, we should fix this shit. You're not really being hypocritical. It's not like you're just being like, hey, we have a collective problem here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's just dumb. This weird. Oh, he didn't have a green juice. He had McDonald's. It's fake. It's like, okay, dude, fucking
Which is exactly. And then I'm sorry, you have to realize all of these people, whether they truly deep down or not, believe it or not, have to say it to maintain status quo that they think men can become women.
Exactly.
Like they all have to say that.
Exactly.
They can attack RFK for whatever they want. They think that is real.
It's a meme, but you can bring it up every time. Be like, what's your position on this? Because that's all it takes.
Yeah, exactly. That anytime they say that, it's like, okay, well, you're not Mr. fucking Science, okay? Like you're not. Regardless, like, and not that I even ask you to be. In fact, I wish you wouldn't.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix with that red candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, can't do
shit. Did you read that New York Times paragraph?
Oh, I don't have it. Let me find it. I know David from Agitator posted it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I have it. That is worth bringing up. I meant to keep that. That's
read it here because this is so insane, dude.
Let me find it. Damn, that boy David's been posting lately. I was like expecting him to.
So glad about that, by the way.
Yeah. Let me see. This is okay, perfect. So from the New York Times. Mr. Kennedy has singled out Fruit Loops as an example of a product with too many artificial ingredients, questioning why the Canadian version has fewer than the U.S. version. But he was wrong. The ingredient list is roughly the same, although Canada's has natural colorings made from blueberries and carrots, while the U.S. products contains red dye 40, yellow 5, and blue 1 as well as butylated hydroxytoluene. I don't even know if I said that right. That's kind of the meme, I guess. You don't know how to say it, right? Or BHT, a lab made chemical that is used for freshness, according to the ingredient label. So, that's what you're dealing with. That's why I like it. He's already asking these people to defend something that they're reflexively defending because he's against it. So. It's the same thing with seed oils, right? You see everything. The people with the seed oils are the same thing. Like we have a TikTok from this guy. I think this guy's like dirtbag left or something. I'm sure he's being ironic, but I do think this is going to happen and be a thing. This is from TikTok.
Fuck that they're saying seed oils cause inflammation, and they seem to be the subject of every single post. It used to cost me $200 to buy myself a Smile, 2 OC80s, and a gram of Coke.
He's pouring a glass of seed oil.
Delicious. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah, that's a big thing they do. Don't be a pussy. You're scared of chemicals. You're scared of this. You're a pussy.
First of all, I'm the 47-year-old streetwear guy.
Yeah. First off, that guy looks like bread made from seed oils.
I know.
The guy has the consistency of a tortilla, seed oil tortilla.
Yeah.
Like
a Friend's bakery, dude. Yeah.
He's probably just hydrating like the Tin Man. But it's like, dude, the seed oil thing is funny because every lib that I know from California, not every one of them, but like there's a lot of libs that are Trump deranged and stuff, but very health conscious. It's a thing. You go to Whole Foods, you see it all the time. They'll be reading the back of every ingredient. They'll be looking for things made with avocado oil, coconut oil, things like that. How are they going to defend this? And they will. I mean, they'll still shop the way that they shop, but they will reflexively, as a signal, as a,
Yeah.
that they are against banning of that. Now, I expect them. You're gonna see the comedian guys go, "You're a pussy, you can't handle a Big Mac. I shoot heroin in my dick Friday night and think about healthcare and leftism." Like that's, I don't know, whatever the uncut gems. Those are the three things I think about.
Yeah.
And but they're gonna be doing that. But the real people the real kind of earnest people about Democrat politics are going to say world hunger, like they did for GMO. They're gonna do the world hunger thing. That's what they're gonna say. This is gonna cause food shortages. And then on top of all of that, what I've seen people argue, and this is extra sinister to me, is that, for one, if you get rid of high fructose corn syrup, which RFK has apparently said we need to do,
so sick. Dude.
If you get rid of high fructose corn syrup or ban it or whatever, then you will have to switch to sugar. There's going to be tariffs by Trump on sugar. Therefore, you cannot use sugar. Therefore, we won't get our PD Mexican Cokes. And then also, some of the other stuff with, okay, you want to make stuff with carrots and beets. Who's going to pick them? Oh, you deported everybody. It's like, nah, we'll fix that. Don't worry. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, so basically now we need to be eating slop with illegal immigrants ruining labor. That's what we need to do. We need to do that now, because the alternative, which we haven't tried.
Yeah.
I will say we have tried. We've done that. We did it for years, but we haven't tried in the last 20 years or so.
Yeah.
That's so much worse, apparently. Like that ruins the world that we lived on in the past.
And that's the thing. It's just such a self-respect thing. Because, okay, this is my whole thing. This is my angle that I came. And I haven't seen, not saying I invented this, I'm sure, but I haven't seen it out there. So I invented it for me, where you see all these, usually it's like a doctor or a nutritionist. It's like, I wish RFK would focus more on salt and sugar and excess calories in the diet and processed food versus these little tiny chemicals and slight amounts of dye that don't even move the needle on toxicity in the human body. First of all, I'm skeptical that these things are totally benign. That food dye, artificial food dye, is completely, and people are like, you could take a shot glass of it every day for a year and you'd be totally fine. I'm skeptical of that for sure. No. And second of all, I hate this whole three things. Second of all, RFK, he is focused on those things that you said. He's not like one or the other, pick a lane kind of thing at all. And third is I hate this whole individual where they're like, you're worried about Fruit Loops when you should be exercising. And it's like, hang on, why is the government allowed to poison us? That's the what's the self-respect there? So it's like, you stop making this an individual willpower thing, like a battle thing. Like, yeah, everyone knows we need to work out more and exercise and stuff, but it's like, what's the why are we allowed to be so disrespected by our own governmental agencies and
also
poisoned?
just the idea that there's people who are like the high fructose corn syrup, that people say, well, it's so much cheaper, it's going to get passed down to the consumer with the sugar. I go, you realize that shit's subsidized, right? Like, it's what you've always been talking about with meat and dairy industry and stuff. It's like, people that point out the economic stuff of it, it's like, well, you would have to just get rid of the subsidy of high fructose corn syrup. Then it probably doesn't get used.
You could you could easily, if you wanted cheap sugary things, you could shift the subsidy to real sugar, and it might be a slight price bump. But yeah, the subsidy thing is crazy because it's just so subsidies is literally GMO crops, which is oil, seed oils, vegetable oils, high fructose corn syrup, and biofuels and whatever for the climate change, and then all those things, all the the soy meal and everything left over from the seed oils and the corn and stuff goes to feed the animals, which is subsidized, the cheap factory farm meat and dairy, which most based people are against, right? So it's literally all the worst foods that we subsidize. We don't subsidize any fruits and vegetables or grass-fed shit at all. Those people, the grass-fed producers and the organic producers, have to jump through extra hoops.
You also wouldn't need migrant labor.
That's
if you were subsidizing it, you're not nearly worried about the profit margin. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, economists. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think there's something there for sure.
Like, what I mean is, like, okay, the reason the fruits and vegetable industry or whatever, like a lot of that stuff is, they're going to get the migrant labor. It's going to increase the profit margin and stuff. But if there were if those subsidies, which I'm for, that's why I don't consider myself like ardent free market guy. I like subsidizing things that I know are like good and necessary to human nutrition and consumption and stuff. I like stuff like that. And I think we're never going to be without any subsidies in any of the industries.
But I bet you're not for subsidizing cheese that is rotting away that will never be eaten by any human.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's where our subs like a huge. We have,
and if you're using the fruit for dyes, fruit for dyes, there'd be so much demand for like agriculture, and it wouldn't be very good to kill the soil. It wouldn't be very good to do these things. You know what I mean?
I'm saying we have these weird programs where we let cheese go bad in caves over billions of pounds, I think, just to keep the prices artificially high, like some Soviet like era shit or something, you know. So it's like I'm sorry, that's fake. That's not good. Like the food we make should be eaten by humans, right? I agree with you. I don't think like subsidies could be all bad. The way we're doing them now is really bad, you know, where it's just like really insane. Yeah, we're throwing away food, and we're subsidizing the horrible shit. Yeah,
and people just, I don't understand, like, because nobody loves seed oil, right? Like nobody actually loves them. I mean, yet I'm sure we'll get some, reflexive love of them.
They're gross,
and,
dude. It's a gross food. Dude.
You'll see people wearing Mazzola shirts, I'm sure, and just like to make a statement about it. They seem objectively evil. I don't put all of our health woes on seed oils. I know that's one thing that if you took them away, I bet you, I would, as an experiment.
Yeah,
we've already decided we can experiment on the human population in 2020 and 2021. Yes. We decided we can experiment en masse on the human population. So why not just do this? Why not just take seed oils away? Obviously more tallow, right? Like, which again, your dairy subsidies would have to be there. You know, I mean, they would have to do that. You would have to, but let's try that. If we tried that, let's chart what. You know,
population studies.
If we had literally the same amount of hypertension, inflammation, diabetes, all these things that are attributed to on the based side of health, people saying that's seed oils, that's the biggest thing we've added to the diet of Americans that has made the uptick in health go up, which I'm not against. I don't know that I'm a maximalist again, but I'd like to see it happen because at the end of the day, tallow tastes great. It's not like one thing tastes good and the other doesn't.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm exactly the same. The dietary fat in the diet is the most confusing aspect of health by far. The more you dig into it, carbs, protein, pretty simple. You know, it's like whatever. You know, dietary fat is the more you dig into it, the less answers you come away with, and also amounts too. No one's focused on amount of fat. You know, they think you could just push the lever all the way, or some people are eating no fat. And but the thing is, like, taking a shot of canola oil is it's a gross oil. It's not tasty. Whereas like I'm a vegan, I could eat a pat of butter. That's delicious. You know, it's delicious. Or a spoon of coconut oil. It's like, all right, that's good. Again, I agree. I don't think there is some interesting. I've seen some stuff on both sides. I avoid them. I don't eat them, and I do think they are harmful. But there are some interesting. I've seen some interesting stuff on both sides where there was a very, very well controlled huge study that wasn't even looking at seed oils. And it was a study about heart health, long-term heart health, and it was done by a real good scientist who actually I don't know his name, but I looked into him and I consider him to be like a good actor, you know, like not a fake actor guy. And they use corn oil as the control up against fish oil for heart health. So you didn't know which one you were taking. You were doing a placebo. One of them's corn oil, one of them's fish oil. You tracked people for a long time, randomized, double-blind kind of thing. And the corn oil group in this tightly well-controlled study had better heart health than the fish oil health, which is kind of like what the fuck is going on? You know, like, whoa.
Again, these are all things like I would be down to toy with these and just see what's happening. We've seen this. We've done what's it been, about 30, 40 years of seed oils? Would you say?
More, yeah, maybe a little more, but
maybe a little more. So we've done that. Let's go. Let's switch back. Or just try this new thing. I don't. Who knows? Like, there's going to be.
But I think they have different vibes. I think again, I'm someone that doesn't eat seed oils. But the super high tallow fat bodybuilder kind of more based side, that's the kind of thing where you can be ripped and you can work out and you can deadlift 500 pounds and you maybe have a six pack, but you might run into some heart trouble in your later years, but you're going to look great. And then the seed oil thing is you're just like pudgy and inflamed and weak and low T and stuff. So it's like dude, if I had to die of a heart attack, but I felt great and
100%.
lived great, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely leaning way more on the anti-seed oil side. Don't get me wrong. But then there's the Peters who are like all poof is bad. Even if you grind sesame seeds and eat them with your ramen, that's bad. All poof is bad. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't take it that far. That's just me. I don't know. But it's confusing. It's the most confusing thing.
I like salmon, so not taking salmon away from me. That's PUFA, right?
Salmon.
I thought they say that one's bad. I don't know.
It is. Yeah, because salmon. Well, that's the other confusing thing about this is so salmon's a lot of saturated fat, a lot of long chain omega-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is technically a PUFA.
That shit's good for you, though.
I think so. I think
I don't know.
There's so when they did the Adventist health study, which carnivores and base people don't like because it shows vegans and vegetarians living an extremely long time with very little disease. And it's not a blue zone thing. It's in California, so we know it's not fake birth certificates and shit like that.
It's the vote blue zone.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Loma Linda. And but the fish group, the group that included very, very small amounts of fish, lived the longest out of all of them. So, again, why, if fish is bad, why did it make it? And obviously, there's mercury and shit now.
Yeah, but, that's an issue.
But that's the other thing. So, I do think having all omega-6 PUFA in oil form, free form, super high calories, super inflammatory, is bad. But I think having like balanced whole food, higher omega-3, maybe some fish, or maybe just some short chain plant-based omega-3s, along with the coconut oil and stuff like that. I just think that's ideal. And I think the sane, moderate, healthy diet people that maybe some eat some meat on salad, maybe some are more vegetarian, vegan, but they all kind of eat the same whole food thing. I think that's the way to go.
That's when I feel the best person.
Clint Eastwood.
That's my hero. So why not? But I that's when I feel my best. So I don't care about it. All I'm saying is like, look, the slop because there's a lot of people that don't care. And I think there's a lot of people that just go, whatever tastes the best or whatever, food I can get that, with my fried palate tastes like really good. It's like that those are the people I'm interested in more so than anything, is like the people who eat bullshit all the time. What if the bullshit's slightly better in our opinion? Using tallow, using
the government shouldn't poison you. It shouldn't poison you.
Exactly. And especially when there's that meme, they take away our this and suppress our medicine and feed us poison. Like that is what they do.
That's one of my favorites.
That's like what that is what they do. It's just I'm interested to see where this goes because nobody else would do this. Nobody else would get in there and even attempt to do this. So we'll see how successful it is, but I want somebody to at least try. And I think that's where we're at right now. And that's why you're seeing the panic about RFK.
Yeah. What's your plan? Do nothing.
Yeah. Do nothing. No. I'll tell you what their fucking plan is. I'll tell you what their plan is. Right now, there are a lot of people that think you should be able to seed oil out and stuff, and Ozempic is available or whatever, all that stuff.
Dude, I swear that's your line of the year for me. Bernie Sanders is in the Ozempic for all ghetto. I think about that.
If you search Bernie Sanders and Ozempic on Twitter, and he's just like, Ozempic is too expensive. There's fat women everywhere. And
it's like, dude, you didn't even know this shit existed 4 years ago.
That's the cuck thing. That's the eunuch in Game of Thrones. They cut your dick off, and you still have to just stand there with a box all day.
And by the way, he was like when people were in 2020 or 2016. I think 2016 was like arguably the coolest era of Bernie, if there was one, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could all argue it wasn't 2020, right? Obviously now we're not really
obviously was there ever?
Exactly. But you know what I mean? So at his peak, when he was culturally powerful, he would drop people like, we need to tax soda, and he'd be like, no, that's bad for working families, they need cheap soda. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, back? Like, what are you doing?
I know.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's like, come on, dude. Like,
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
come on,
fucking
dude.
yeah. So he's the gums found in Ben and Jerry's ice cream have kept Vermont afloat for hundreds of years.
That's right.
Yeah,
There's the Vermont connection.
Yeah,
that,
but no, he's like but the Ozempic thing. Like I've never seen, and there are a lot of people. It's really sad when you see people go down that trap, because it is like there's no way that shit's good. The Ozempic stuff, right? Like there's no way it's good. I'm sorry. Like people are so sure that it's like a miracle. People are so sure. They'll say, well, it actually helps you get better eating habits.
I don't think it does.
I disagree. It makes you hate food. I know somebody that's on it right now, and it makes you hate food. They get really depressed. I know somebody that was on Ozempic, and then Trump won the election, and they hadn't eaten for a while. Wow. So that was that whole thing has happened, and Ozempic is like, and I'm saying this for all of the shot. I know there's like a bunch of different kinds, but
the weird thing you see, like Oprah, it's like they have like a skinny body and a giant head now, like the Ozempic head.
Like,
it's just like a weird,
like Mr. Mackey. Yeah.
It's a weird vibe. I think you can make an argument that literally just being forced to be semi-metabolically healthy, to where you're not in a caloric excess every day, does improve some biomarkers. But I do think there's some. I think it's a Faustian bargain. At the end of the day,
it's a Faucian
bargain.
Yeah, you're injecting yourself. No thanks. And
literally, it's like TRT or something. It's like steroids. It's crazy.
And people are on it like for months. Like people will go on it for like months and months and months. And what I'm saying is, what are you saying? You're basically excusing the entire food industry, the entire sedentary culture we've installed, and you're saying that's fine because there's this. It's like, you know what? People are miserable right now. Yes, we do live in it. Like, I understand we might overplay or over amplify like what's troubling the world. Like, yes, we're still in a first world country. We do have a lot of things that are good. I'm not trying to say we need to go back to the primitive ages or anything. What I am saying is that there are a lot of people who hate that they're fat. They realize that the sedentary life, they're addicted to like the sedentary lifestyle of what they do, because they get the dopamine rush from whatever's in front of them. They can follow the election. They can tweet at people all day. They can do all of this. They love the food that they eat. They'll get so bored and understimulated that the biggest activity is eating horse shit, and they'll shovel it and shovel it and shovel it, and then this miracle drug comes out and can solve that. And to a lot of people, they go, sick, I'll never die of anything obese. I don't think that's true. And guess what? When you stop taking that shit and you eat through it, how depressed, how black-pilled will you be after that? That's always what I wonder. Like, what if you stop taking it? It's like, wow, I have so many like healthy habits now. I used to only eat one noodle a day, literally one strand. Like, so now I'm going to feel great. And then eventually you're going to start, the dog's going to come back in you. You're going to be like, dude, I'm going to do some damage, dude. I'm going to hit the Jack's Munchies meal box thing. Like, I'm going to go crazy. And then you start pouring that stuff back on. And then, especially for women, they'll get like suicidal after that.
Yeah. And I do, it's funny. I do. The Peters, I clown on them. We clown on them a lot, but also I have this. It's the weirdest, like, not love hate. That's too strong.
No, I like
but it's
them.
like
they're good. They're
but
good.
No, but dude, I'll listen. There'll always be some extra rabbit hole, and I'm like, damn, that's really interesting. And I do think there is something to those guys where you want to be metabolically healthy and be able to crush. You want to be able to crush food and be able to burn it off and shit, And there's something to that where you can eat a lot of food. Maybe not super calorically dense food, but be skinny and be able to work out. And, you don't want this whole poverty-stricken, diet, small portions, Ozempic, inject. Why do you have to inject it, first of all? Like, why?
It's really weird.
Dude, what the fuck?
It should just be a burger.
Yeah. Should be in your food. Like Weight Watchers, you just have like some like, Ozempic.
Yeah. And and like there's just, I don't know, I'm sorry, like there was, with dieting isn't fun, like don't get me wrong, like doing like the Weight Watcher stuff and like all the old school diets, like they're not fun, but like there was a community around them. There's meetings like that and stuff, and there's people to like hold each other accountable. With this Ozempic thing, all you're gonna fight for now is Ozempic equity, like Bernie Sanders is like, now I need to be able to take it for the rest of my life. And guess what are you gonna do? Take my Ozempic away? You're gonna take that away from me, and then you're gonna complain about too much obesity in America? Oh my gosh, it becomes this thing where it's just this brand new thing that people pretend was completely necessary to life. This whole part of life, the whole span of life, we've just now created the thing. And if you take this away, you're evil. And I'm like, I'm not trying to take it away. I just mean I see a lot of people that I know have done it right in the past. Have done it right in the past. Yeah, maybe in 2020, with the sedentary lifestyle, lockdowns and stuff, they went back to the old them and it started
they them, dude. Yeah,
the old they them, and they started they them in it, getting big, like, and there's a reason it's plural.
My whole thing is like, okay, let's say Sanders has an economic argument for healthcare, and that insurance companies are fraudulent. Like, I agree with I hate insurance. I think insurance is gay the way it's set up and stuff, and Obamacare and all that stuff. Like, what the fuck, But I'm not learning how to be healthy from Bernie Sanders and Kyle Kalinske. I'm learning from RFK. Like the
Kyle
like the
Kalinske.
You know what I mean, dude? It's like, sorry,
dude, first off, more like Kyle Zelensky.
Kyle Zelensky.
More like that. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I just got it.
Imagine going from 2016 to 2024 and becoming less based. How do you do that, dude? How do you seriously? Everyone else did the cool thing. Everyone else is like, hey, we'll do the dance in the end zone.
Yeah,
we're doing the dance, and everyone and he's like, nope, I'm gonna double down on being the fucking squares.
He's gonna be the guy that posts like Trump hair wind pictures for like 4 years and be like, look at stupid fucking hair,
dude. I hope he's making money, dude. I just hope it's worth it, man. Because
I have a feeling it's vag related. It's pussy related. He rubbed the crystal ball. Yeah, and I'm not that he was even based before this, but like that's a clear dude. He's totally the I got a girlfriend, you won't believe how cool she is guy. And then you meet her and you're like, she's horrible. And
dude.
and like she left like some billionaire guy for him and stuff. So that he's probably living off her alimony. Again, this is kind of based on the way I'm saying it, but the results are you get like a low T Joe Burrow looking guy. Who is just it was just Joe Burrow quitting seed oils. Quitting seed oils. That's what he looks like. And you get the like, dude, and kind of he posted pig poop balls, dude, the other day. It's over.
Yeah, that's such a self-own. That's such a I don't know.
Epic Fetterman, not even Epic Fetterman. Come on, if you go Epic Fetterman, you're rough.
Yeah. And Crystal Ball, it's funny because when I first listened to those guys, I didn't love Crystal Ball, but I remember being like, Sagar's whack, dude. Who is this guy? And now he's like the cool one,
And he was on Matt and Shane today.
That's sick.
With Matt, I think just Matt, but yeah, Matt's a breaking point, dude. I know.
And again, and you see, like I remember I would tune in, and I had my famous thing with one of my ex-friends where they were like, I thought you were racist for believing in the lab leak, but then I heard on Crystal and Sagar that it's true. So now we're friends again. And I'm like, no, we're not.
Oh, you mean the rab reek? Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm not racist. It's a rab reek.
I would do anything to go back, dude, and just fucking
yeah. But I spilled the dish. It reek everywhere.
Seed oil.
Yeah. Oh,
seed oil, dude.
Yeah. Seed oil.
But so I would tune in to because I would hear those segments because Sagar would not let the lab leak shit go, and then he'd be talking about it and just spurging autistic about lab leak, and then he'd hand to Crystal and she'd be like, just like the most resting at it was bad, man. And dude, you vaccinated your kids, man. I'm sorry, dude. Like by choice. You literally make independent money and no one can tell you what to do, and you jab your kids. Like
it's rough. It's rough. And come on. Dude, the one that's killing me though is John Oliver, dude. The John Oliver,
what's up with that? I've been seeing his name. Like, what's the deal with that?
No, because everybody
is it
really
the trans like, hey, it's fine. It's actually
everything he does. Everything he does is everything he does or his appeal is that like, okay, Jon Stewart isn't really like. They all miss the Jon Stewart era, right? All that the people, the Gen X and Boomer like lives. They're like, oh, Jon Stewart, he saw the world. I'd vote for him for president and stuff.
Yeah.
But Jon Stewart isn't quite as palatable in 2024 to what they want. He's still like a sniveling libtard or whatever. But they need the guy who's he's right because he's British, and they laugh at us because the British people just laugh at us. And
meanwhile, they're imprisoning you for tweets.
For like
9 months
for having a laugh.
sorry, I'd say I don't care any of your takes on America when you throw someone in prison for a fucking social media post, but then let like a child abuser go. Like, go ahead, you know. And it's dude.
He'll just be like, RFK, he's worried about women in men's sports or men and women's sports and the seed oils. And well, I'm vaccinating myself with seed oils today, and let's see how I feel. And that's like his shtick. He's and he's so flabbergasted with America. That's John Oliver's. I'm a foreigner and I'm flabbergasted. Trevor Noah's the same
Oliver,
thing.
Like with Trevor Noah,
fucking John Swallover, dude.
Did you see that? I'm like, nope, and
no, I didn't. I didn't watch
like
Trevor
Jon Stewart.
Noah
Like, it's like I definitely disagree with, obviously you could sit in a room and talk with a Jon Stewart, you could be like, yo, bro, what the fuck's going on?
With that's John why Oliver, they don't like him. He's not flabbergasted.
With John Oliver, like what kind of conversation? He'd be like zoinks and like pull out like a giant foam finger and like slap your face. You're like, dude, we're talking here, man. Can we have a converation?
Yeah, exactly. And he's and like I said, dude, your own fucking country. First off, your own country sounds like what you want. So go there. Like literally, I will deport John Oliver. It's like they don't let you have a laugh over there.
That'd be so funny if Trump was exactly.
Dude, I would having a laugh over there. You making fun of a trans woman, are you? And they'll knock on your door and send you. I saw one where it was like a woman letting her kid walk like a mile unattended or something. And then they like she's facing like a year in prison for it or something. And then
dude, what the fuck,
to me, but it's like, okay, but like what if
the pedophile that abuses his kid gets off for years of shit?
What if the kid was walking to a gender affirming clinic?
Exactly.
What about that? Would they go to jail then? It's like no, they wouldn't. And
Yerk's been pumped, dude. Shout out Yerk. And I think saw one of his commenters. I don't know who. I didn't know who they were, but they're like, it's funny when Britain was arguably way more a utopia than it is today. You had all this cutting edge counterculture sci-fi going on, and now that it's actually shitty, you just don't see any of that anymore.
And what sucks is their weather too. Like it never looks like a nice day either. So it's like, God, that looks extra gloomy. Where you'll see like this Jason Statham like cop guy next to a trans flag, and he'll just be like, "You having a laugh, huh? Having a laugh? Why don't you go? Just they get really mad. Like, and it's like you know the shit. Like, so that's being packaged to America as like British people are insane on the internet because of like J.K. Rowling or something, and they need to be reeled in because of misinformation and stuff. When really, like, show me the tweets.
Mm-hmm.
Show me. Can I see the tweets?
Yeah, show 'em.
Can I see the Reddit posts? Can I see it? Like, can I see it on the English Premier League soccer Reddit board? Can I see what was going on? I bet they go hard. I bet they're funny, and I just, to me, like when I see John Oliver complaining, I turn it like, John Oliver's whole thing would be like, oh, you don't like your freedom fries fried in seed oils, do you? And it's just like, like, God, it's, you've had too much of it, have ya? Like,
dude.
I'm
so short on Britain. I'm short in Britain by far, dude. It's so funny you're Scott Adams stuff because he's like a free speech guy, and he's like, when they found that you can travel to the UK and they can arrest Americans for the shit they say like on Twitter, he's like fuck you, dude, it's over. Like literally, it's like, I'm never going there, it's over, dude. He's just like, I'm done with Britain. It's so
that's
funny.
And that's just straight up like that. It's ridiculous what the precedent that sets. And in America, like I feel like it's swinging the other way. I know I'm sure they got something else for like where people are kind of just a little bit over it, like a little bit over like the actual panic about misinformation. There's still a very small subset, like a very vocal but small subset that's like misinformation is, but that's a smaller group than they found out that it's a smaller group. They thought they were a huge group. They thought they were this big tent party of everybody just wants real information that's vetted by Snopes and Neil deGrasse Tyson to only go on the internet. And
I'm sorry, so just with Britain, we dipped on Britain. It's in our blood, dude. Like, bye. We're over this fake ass taxes and tea and shit. Obviously now, like, we're doing pretty rough over here with all that stuff. So I'm not claiming we're cool or whatever. Like, but it's like,
but those people that are obsessed with Britain, those like libtards that like love, they're like, if I could just live in London, man. And you're just like, really? No. What are you talking about? It's like you have to listen to grime rap.
Yeah, dude, that's some rough.
Yeah,
that's a rough.
Oi,
Yeah.
2-step, one time.
Did you ever try and get into that? I've tried like
it's
twice.
horrible. The
Dude,
beat,
I'm
the
just
beat,
like,
yeah, the beat
Yeah.
sounds like the computer glitched. Like
Yeah.
the beat sounds like the computer's loading before the software. Like you're running two softwares at the same time.
Yeah.
And then like the guy's like, one time, 2-step to the back
Yeah.
now with the women out there. And like they're just doing the like what they would just do shit like that. And then like they're basically just doing slide to the left,
Yeah.
slide to the right. They're doing that song.
But it's like Adderall version.
Like, this how grimy London is, mate. You know, this how grimy, gluttery, grimy, and it's like Dizzy Rascal or like I don't know who that. I don't know who the other ones are. They should never rap.
Just
None
ban.
of the dude. I would ban that instead of the UK misinformation thing. I would be like, all right, I'm the new PM, guys. We still don't have free speech.
Yeah,
I know you guys were worried that we would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ban British rap.
Yeah, British rap.
If you say two things that rhyme,
or what if you just
deported?
You could just ban the seed oils in the British rap. We'll go away on its own, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
If
you say anything in like verse-like form, see ya. Deported.
Dude, if I was PM of first of all, I would no soccer game. I do the NHL. No soccer game can end in a tie ever again. We're doing a shootout. You know, like that would get me interested. I'd be like, okay, I'm ready. You know, no more ties. Even if it's only in Britain. Everywhere else in the world, they still do their dumb 1-1 tie. How the fuck do you bet that? First of all, oh, it's a push. Sorry, we're giving you your money back because it's a tie. Fuck
you know what's gay? You know what's really gay is how we wake up early for London football, but they never put an English Premier League during our time.
Nope.
Which I'm grateful for because I don't care about soccer, but like they should be like, what if a game started at like 10 o'clock American time, you know, to where they don't have to wake up early. But our London football, which we would be watching, not them, our London football, Jaguars and Titans or whatever, is going to start. Why is it starting at 6:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
British people can't stay out late. I thought they were blokes.
I know. Why can't they have a night game in London?
I thought they were rowdy blokes.
Yeah. That'd be sick to watch a night game at 12 in the fucking noon, you know?
8 o'clock GMT.
Yeah.
Dude,
that'd be sick.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
no. It's horrible, dude. Sorry.
I come from people that are like British worship people, and I'm like, okay, Americans like worshiping outside of America, like even if the culture is sicker, it's not American to do. Like we're supposed to be like outlandish with what we do. We're supposed to be like really narcissist. Like that's kind of like what we are.
Exactly.
So when people are wearing like English Premier League soccer scarves, and like first,
why are they called kits too? First of all, that's beta.
And
it's not a jersey. It's a kit, really.
Yeah. Why? I can't stand. it. But you know, shout out to our boys. Like we have Nanny State. You know,
they agree with us on everything we just said.
100%.
Come on, dude.
We'll be a fucking sanctuary.
That's what I'm saying to Yerk. I'm like, dude, come out here, dude. We'll put you up, dude. It's like, come on, dude. It's like, get out of that fucking like Twitter jail. Literally Twitter jail. Not even the fake one where they ban your account. You're literally.
Did you make a joke about Wendy Carlos, mate?
Yeah.
You know she's trans. You're in jail. Like, just come on, like,
dude.
I can't.
Also, you have to like pay the. Sorry, dude. There's so much. The BBC, you have to pay for the license to get the TV that the government gives you, and you have to pay for it. Literally, they'll come in. They'll like bust into your window if you have like a. You know, like you used to have like a fake like cable guy shit, like a DirecTV thing and shit. They'll like break into the cops will like bust into your window if you don't pay for your TV that the government.
You watching Faulty Towers, mate? What are you doing in there?
Yeah.
Oh God.
John Lennon stayed out, dude. He's like, I'm America, dude, all the way, dude. I'm literally watching New York Jets and shit, New York Giants games, dude.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
I mean, you know, it didn't end well for him, but you know, he would have got stabbed in England instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, you know, knife crime.
Yeah,
knife crime is up in England right now. But yeah, that's dude. I just can't. Knife crime, dude.
Yeah,
it's that sounds like a racist website. Like you log into knife crime, you want to see the real stats? Go to knifecrime.com.
It's just charts and graphs and shit.
Yeah, like not even just about knives, but it's about other stuff too. But yeah, I'm Anyways, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Big sleep episode drops this Thursday or Friday, shortly after you listen to this. That'll be coming up. Please leave us a review, guys. Leave us a review on I see people working on Spotify. Spotify's going up. Love it. Absolutely. On Apple, we could use some nice reviews, a nice little couple sentences. Doesn't have to be MLA form. It's all right. Prefer if it wasn't. You could be gibberish. I don't care. 5 stars. 5 stars. Come on, we're worth it. We have some fun guests coming up, locking in maybe some couple big fish. We'll see. I'm not going to say it yet, but there's a few people that want a horse. They heard about horsing and they're like, whoa, I'd like to do that.
It's a thing. Everyone's doing it.
It is a thing. It caught on with our audience.
It did.
It caught on with our audience, all because my dad told me that he couldn't fucking stand 10 minutes of his football podcast talking about food takes at the beginning. He could not take it.
Yeah.
Which I agree. Sports shows where nobody is funny at all, and they feel the need to be like, well, I mean, peanut butter M&Ms or not, or red peanut M&Ms. Which one? Like, don't you dare say peanut butter. I'm
Barstool
value. Yeah,
Barstool's the only one that kind of gets away with it. And even then, you're like, okay,
I get that. So he was listening to that, and he was like, and they just horse around. They horse around for 10 minutes before, and he couldn't take it. And I was like, damn, a lot of my favorite podcasts have a horse element to them. So whether they're talking about a certain thing, I love the warm up. It's with the donut on the bat and the on deck circle, man. It's like it gets you ready to go. So I'm glad people catch on with that. Gain of Fiction coming up. I'm reading 3 books at once right now. It's crazy. 3 books at once, but in different forms. So I am reading Thomas Pynchon's Inherent Vice, physical copy. On my Kindle at night for like 20 minutes in bed every night, I'm reading Vivienne by Emilia Russo, who is an independent author. She's a mutual. Just the book looked cool. Guys, spend money on your book covers. I don't know if she did or not or whatever. The book cover looked really cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully going to get her on the show after I finish it. It's a fantastic book. Highly recommend. I'm not done with it yet, but I'm loving every page of it. It's about like a artist in the art world who's like 80 years old and gets canceled for like having problematic stuff, and it's really interesting the way that it goes. Very good. And then on audio, so this is at work and driving and stuff. It's just books all day, dude. Audio. I'm rereading James Ellroy's LA Confidential for a podcast appearance. One of the goats. Just fantastic book. So that's just putting in work right now on the literary front. And I'm trying to do my best to read more like independent fiction. Guys, if you write books, do audiobooks. You will get so many more people listening. Make sure your shit's available on Kindle and on audio. People will read it. I will be able to fit it in and stuff like that. And one of these days I want to get into recording audiobooks because I definitely can. And I would love to have that be like a side hustle. And in fact, this winter, when work slows down for me, in theory, I will I have a couple already, but I want to do, if you have a short story, if you're an author that's listening, if you have a short story, some people I've already reached out to, I want to read short stories and put out like almost like an album of me reading short stories. It can be any of your guys's stuff. Just send it to me, rarecandyindustries@gmail.com, and I'll gladly take a look at it. But I've got a few people on deck already, that people that from the show, Gain of Fiction and stuff. I want to do that. I want to highlight some local people, or I call them local. They're not local, but independent people doing it on Twitter, Instagram and stuff. So like that. So I'm definitely going to put that together. Also, we're going to be putting together a website. We need to put together our website. We are going to put together the Rare Candy website.
I'm doing it from scratch. I'm literally every line of code will be done by us.
Okay. So that'll be sick, brick by brick.
And it'll have 24/7 auto shuffle Rare Candy feed, 24/7 Rare Candy radio,
which would be sick.
Which will be like basically it'll pop in and out of episodes, like 15 minutes of this episode, 15 minutes of one. We could even do like Gain of Fiction and stuff, because then they'll have to subscribe to one of this whole thing, and then it'll have the player. Then you could look and click and or see, be like, oh yeah, like write that one down. Like that one, episode 398
could work. Yeah, could work.
But I'm not for any. That's my main feature I want to do. For any other feature, I'm open to.
Yes.
So
our Substack's open. Our Substack is open for submission as well. I know some people are talking about submitting. We'll publish fiction. We'll publish anything, nonfiction, opinion pieces, health. A lot. We'll do it. So just not guaranteed. You got to have bars, but just make rarecandyindustries@gmail.com. Go ahead and send that there. Also, our voicemail hotline is open. Go ahead and make sure you leave voicemail. It's 510-256-9850. 510-256-9850. Anything you heard on the show, anything you want to ask us about, alpha beta rating on somebody, it doesn't matter. Anything. Just go ahead and leave a voicemail there. We'll play it on the show and answer it. And on that note, guys, everybody have a safe week. We'll catch you guys next time.